Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. You guys already know what to do. It ain't nothing new. So, you guys already know. I'm gonna give you a minute to do so because ain't nothing has changed. Like, get it done. Come on. Because we got things to get into, to tap into. Okay, you guys. So, today we're going to be talking about something that happened at the end of the year. It was one of the most epicest things as well. My best friend Alyssa got into a little bit with one of, I'm gonna say his name. I'm gonna shorten it. Nate. That's his name. Over Nate. This girl, Alyssa, my best friend, was arguing over Nate. And honestly, I don't even see what the big fuss about Nate is, honestly. And he's so when this happened, I was a sophomore. He was a junior. It happened at the end of the day, and it was at around the end of the year, like June. And so Alyssa, she's my best friend, and so she got into a spit spat with his girlfriend. And well, I wouldn't say his girlfriend, sort of like best friend slash almost GF status. It's kind of hard. Like high school relationships are so hard to navigate. It's ridiculous. So she Alyssa was just trying to, I don't know. I think Alyssa always had like a crush on Nate or like Nate, but just never really knew how to, how do I explain it? Like Alyssa, okay, so Alyssa had emotions toward Nate that she didn't know how to express. That's how to say it. Yeah. So she'd been having these emotions like talking about Nate all the time when she'll be around me or when we'll walk past him, and I'll be like, do you like him or what? Like I'm so confused because it's like one minute we think you like him, the next minute is you don't. And Nate saw it too, and I think Nate knew that she liked it him, and he liked it. Nate liked it. Nate liked it. Alyssa too. He can't even lie. Um, but she just never knew how to express her emotions to him. So this new girl came around, and she was a junior, and she started hanging around Nate more often, and Alyssa noticed that. And Alyssa started like little spit spacks, and it was going on for like weeks before we even hit June. It was like little spit spacks, she would say about the girl. And it was as if Alyssa had some sort of jealousy towards her. And I would be like, if I mean, like, dang, if you like the dude so much, why don't you just talk to him? But she's not that type of person, of course. So I said, she would just always make like little smart remarks about the girl, and I'd be like, you better stop, because you don't know who this girl is. And Alyssa was just that type of person, and so I would always tell her like, you need to stop. But Alyssa was just, she was just a lot to deal with, honestly. And so then came that day towards like, I believe this was like the second week of this was the last week of school, probably like the third day of that last week. And um so what would I say happened? Basically, what I'd say happened was that we went into the room. Okay, yeah, we went into the room. I was on the bean bags, and everybody was spread it out. Me and Jalen was like play fighting, doing too much as usual. And so, um, the girl that Nate was with was hanging out on the other side. Alyssa was like on my side of the room. She was with me, and so we were playing with the bean bags. We were watching Stranger Things actually because when is Stranger Things? Yeah, Stranger Things first came out May 27th for season 4, right? Okay, I remember because we were watching it again June like 12th because the last week in that year was June 12th, June 11th, June 12th, 11th. It was around those days. So we watching Stranger Things. If only could make a deal with God. We were singing, and so things kind of went left when the show went off. And so it was getting close to the end of the school day, and things just left. Honestly, things went like supremely left. And so, what happened was they got into a little argument. Like it started off little, but then it started growing big. Janaya, my other best friend, was on the other side, and I was sitting on the table on the other side. And she made a smart remark like, "You be sucking Nate blank," and that's what set the girl off when she said that. So she started standing up, and she was like, "Who be sucking Nate? Who be sucking?" And I was like, "Oh Lord." And so I was just recording. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I was just recording it. And so I was recording it and I was holding the camera like they couldn't see me. And so she was like, the girl said something smart and she was like, don't play with me. And then my best friend Alyssa was like, girl, who you gonna touch? She was like, you ain't gonna touch me because I'm about to get the mean mocking you. And I get up and I say, we not finna do no mean mocking. It ain't finna be none of that. One thing led to another. I said something to Nate to like make it more dramatic. I was like, Nate, this is all your fault. Cause in reality, this is all his fault. You got two girls arguing over somebody who isn't even all that. So it was technically Nate's fault because I know Nate was enjoying every bit of it. He was enjoying every bit of it since they was arguing over him. And so I was like, Nate started yelling at me, and I started yelling back. Cause who you yelling at? Cause you ain't yelling at me. Calm that tone. Bring it up from here. Bring it on the way back down here. Okay. So after that happened, then it got a little physical. So I had to stand in front of Alyssa. Jakira Nate, my other best friend, had to stand in front of the other girl, and so she was going on. The girl was like, "I'm trying not to do that because people keep saying that I'm violent and stuff like this." And I was like, I know, I understand. She was like, your friend got a smart mouth. And I was like, I know that. And so Alyssa was making like more smart remarks. She was basically like mocking her, doing like crying stuff, like mocking her for like crying and whimpering while she was speaking. And I was like, Alyssa, stop. You need to stop playing. This girl ain't playing with you. And so a bad part of me wanted to just because she started swinging and I got in front of her to stop her and she hit me. And a bad part of me wanted to let her go and just let her swing at her. Like a really bad part of me wanted to do that. Because Alyssa got a smart mouth. Like she really does have a smart mouth. And I told her that all the time. Like you got to be careful with the things that you say to people. And she was about to like if I wouldn't have stood in front of her and Nate was holding her from behind, if I wouldn't stood in front of her, she probably would have went off on that girl. And I would have been there to just let it happen. And like I said, a bad part of me was just gonna let it happen, unfortunately. But I stopped it. I didn't really want, you know, I didn't want it to get any further than what it already was. So I stopped it from happening because, that's my best friend. Despite how much of a smart mouth she had, I wasn't gonna let her like get attacked like that because she was going all in. She wasn't playing with her. And like I said, a bad part of me should have let her get a lesson talk because Alyssa has a smart mouth. That's something I can't lie about. But I calmed it down. I calmed her down, and it was a lot. It was a lot. It was it was a lot. And so when we got outside of the hallway, the girl was still mad at Alyssa for what she said, and they was trying to fight. And the security came, and I had told my friend Janiyah, I was like, Janiyah, if I miss anything, record it, because I had to go. I wasn't gonna stay up there. Because I already was in there like 10 minutes past when the bell rung for us to leave, because it was at the end of the day when it happened. So the bell rang for us to leave to go home. I was still there like 10 minutes after. It's been like 20 minutes in my ride waiting. So I was like, okay, it's time for me to go. You know, you already know to do record it if anything pop off, you know. And yeah, it was a lot. I told her it was a really crazy, it was really crazy. But yeah, it was a lot. But yeah, I may release the audio because I have the audio of it. I may release the video of it because I can't release the video. I may release it. I don't know. I might not, but I may release it. If I decide to release it, you know, I don't know. I may. I have to think about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I know it's a lot to explain because y'all know high school is so dramatic. But thank y'all for listening in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And yeah, bye guys.